Ladies and gentlemen, officially one of the worst bottlenecks in Sydney. We love it. We're going to tell you a bit of the history. Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Good morning.
Billy, how are you?
I'm good. I'm like a news reporter. I'm coming to you from the water of Spit Bridge, Middle Harbour, the most beautiful place in the world, in my opinion. Feels like Miami.
What a spectacular day for it. After all the rain that we've had in the last 1 year, it's great to see. Apparently, we've got a week of these beautiful blue skies.
Bring it on. Yeah, this is special. What we're talking about this morning is even more special. I would say the best or most important piece of infrastructure we have on the entire beaches.
Absolutely. It's a piece of infrastructure that the people love to hate on the northern beaches. We're a little bit unusual on the northern beaches. We don't mind a bit of hard to get to on the northern beaches. They talk about train lines. We don't want it. They talk about bottlenecking, where we're talking about this morning, the Spit Bridge, and we sort of don't mind
Yeah.
it. And we like the peninsula. We like that it's a little bit inaccessible. And for anyone who doesn't know, that's watching from out of the area, the Spit Bridge is basically the extension between. If you're in the city, for instance, and you head north, you'll go through the North Shore and Mossman, Taronga Zoo, places like that. If you're not from the area, as you go past that, then you'll get to the northern beaches of Sydney, which is a bit like a bit of a headland. But the only way that you can access it easily from the city is over water, and hence the Spit Bridge is there. It's not big enough. It's a bottleneck every day. Let's talk about the history of it, Billy Boy.
Yeah, I did have to pull up a bit of history about it, and it goes back a long way. So, back from the 1800s, there's been people rowing each other from over here, Mark, Shelley Cove, all the way over to here, which does start to come into the northern beaches, into Clontarf. So, just a little bloke rowing his boat, and you can only imagine the stories that would have been told, or the experiences on those boats. There's so many accounts throughout the years, whether it was someone rowing another person, or even the professional steam ferries of people falling over and baggage going overboard. So yeah, it goes back a long way.
So how far back is that?
First accounts of people actually taking others over was 1830.
1830, almost 200 years of it. Now, people used to go
Yeah,
to the northern beaches to get away from the city. They used to go there for a weekend away. And they used to love a drink. They used to love a party. They often ended up in freshwater. Manly is where they sort of first settled. But the easiest way, because logistically to go the long way would have taken them days, the easiest way was just across that stretch of water.
yeah. And they used to charge a premium if they were taking a horse with them, and sometimes they'd see if their horse could swim to save them a bit of cash.
No way.
I swear to God. So, your first accounts was from 1830 of people taking each other over. From 1850 into the 80s, there was a gentleman, Peter Ellery. He used to have a punt service taking people over. But as I said, there were so many dodgy stories of things going wrong, they had to regulate it. So in the early 80s, the government put something in place for a steam ferry to come through. And if you have a look online, some of the photos are they look pretty funny. Very accurate to the time, no doubt. But in 1898 was when the steam ferry arrived.
So then we had steam ferry for a good, how many years? 50 years?
Yeah, I've got a little bit of a few notes here. So I'm definitely not an expert on the bridge, but the first bridge was a wooden bridge, and that arrived in 1924. So there was, a good period where it was just steam ferry.
So so that came along, and then did that have a toll on it?
No, so that one was erected just in pure demand for people trying to get over to the beaches. As you said, it was a huge holiday recreation at the time, and there really was no proper way of getting over. So they started putting the bridge in, but within 2 years, there was already there's already enough demand for a new one to be built, and just traffic congestion was a problem already. Then the next bridge came into planning around 1939, so obviously got interrupted with World War II. A delay of resources had that one postponed. However, when it got put up in 1945, look at me rolling the numbers off here. I'm like a historian.
Stunning.
When it got put up in it was due to go up in 49, went up in 58, and that's the bridge we know today.
No.
So
And it's always paid for itself pretty quickly, yeah?
yeah, so funny enough, I was reading this morning, it was actually Manly Council that copped the bill for the whole thing. Mossman paid for none of it. And I think the bridge nowadays is actually owned by Mossman Council. But the reason for that is, I think it was, obviously a lot more needed by the beaches. Manly Council paid for it and then put a toll on it. So it used to be tolled. And it got repaid so quickly that they started to upgrade it surely but slowly.
Unbelievable. So, guys and girls, if you've just tuned in, we're talking about one of the worst bottlenecks in Sydney, the Spit Bridge of Sydney. And what a beautiful creature she's come to be. She's opened up our beaches. Now, we're a little bit funny on the northern beaches. We don't mind a bit of bad traffic coming through. And it shouldn't be on your end that's happening. And this is an incredible thing for us. Now, is there any planning for this bridge to be upgraded?
So in 2007 to 2009, the state government was having a look at it. There's been so much demand for an extension. So not a new bridge, but an extension, a couple of extra lanes. You'll see behind me, what we've got is basically 4 lanes of traffic that sort of filter through. And it does come down to about 1 or 2 lanes, just in the middle, so 1 lane each way. And that's why there's such bad congestion. But they did talk about extending it. The amount of money it would have cost them, though, it sort of didn't really go anywhere. And then there's obviously been so much talk about a tunnel going in for the beaches. And so that's the other possibility.
For people that don't know, basically because we've only got 4 lanes, we need 3 during peak hour. So, and one of those 3 gets locked up for the bus lane. So it pretty much reduces oncoming traffic to only 1 lane for the entire northern beaches, which really, really is a pinch point. Really struggles. But if we do get this tunnel that everyone's talking about, I think it's in the cost of hundreds of billions of dollars, I believe. It will alleviate some of the pressure that poor little bridge is doing. And a fast fact that may be common sense to us, this bridge opens. So just to make life a little bit more difficult, with not only going down to 1 lane in peak hour in the opposite direction, it then has to open on a regular basis to allow boats to go through.
Yeah, you see the oncoming boat with its really tall mast, and you just think, that's the one that's going to make me late for work this day.
You know what?
Um,
I'm not a boatie, Billy, but it must be a bit of a party when you're waiting for the bridge to open. You'd get together with other boats and have a beer.
Definitely. I mean, either side we've got, huge marina. This side it wraps all the way around. You've got the bridge just behind me, and then another big marina this side as well. And then some of the boats in there are spectacular. So yeah, like you said, it has to open a lot. There's a set of traffic lights up there, and as soon as you see those flashing, you're in trouble because you've got a 10-minute wait.
Now it's still done by an operator. There's still an operator in a tower. Can we get up there?
I'd love to show you him. I'd love to introduce him, but they're celebrities. So I'll go for a bit of a walk, but you'll see behind me, basically there's 3 lanes of traffic. That filter into one, and then once you pass where I'm walking now, then you're in the good spot because you start.
Those buses rip past you.
Yeah. So we're walking on the bridge. You can imagine the amount of people looking at me this morning.
Yeah,
So
you should be getting some beeps. If anyone sees Billy there, give him a beep.
Yeah. All right. So here behind me, that's your tower, just there.
Yep.
That's the tower, and the little glass bit at the top. The man sits, and then he signals the sirens, and then there's a break in the road just where those traffic lights are, just there, and then it goes up, and it goes up probably 15 meters. There's a big span of road that goes up.
Lisa wants you to turn the camera around.
Hang on. Back camera. Pending.
There you go. Look, do a 360 on a 360 on the stick bridge Tuesday morning.
So all these cars are coming to the city, and then vice versa, traveling this way. We're going to work, going to the beaches. So there's your tower.
Are there any politicians that are on the side of the road with those billboard signs?
No, I'm the only one this morning, Mark. I'm the only person.
You did go looking for them.
What a beautiful spot. So here's some of the boats. It's pretty special.
That's hot. Well, mate, thank you for the history today.
Absolute pleasure. We're going to sign off with crossing the official border. Look, Mark. Mossman. Oh.
There you go, into Mossman that you go. But it is a beautiful piece of history for us on the Northern Beaches. It has graduated. Look at that, over 200 years. We've been doing this crossing into the Northern Beaches. We sort of don't mind that it's made life a little bit harder for people to get in or out. We do love our beaches. That's why we've resisted staying around for so long as a community. And mate, thanks for the chat and the history.
Pleasure. I had no idea how heavy a tripod would be for 20 minutes.
I did tell you. I say to Billy, make sure the legs are down on the tripod. No, I'll be right. No, make sure the legs are down. No. All right, bud.
Good
Take care. See ya.
Ciao.